Paul Hamilton joining us. Sabres in Utah and then Colorado. So back-to-back. Paul, where are you now?
I am still in Salt Lake.
Okay. In Salt Lake, making your way to Colorado, to Denver today for the Sabres and Avalanche.
How far is that of a trip? Salt Lake City? Because I feel like it feels like on a map it's not that big, but I bet it's
I'm going to guess
far.
it's a 90-minute flight. How is it?
That's it.
Okay. All right.
It is that close?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Paul, Colorado twant which is a big test. And last night they gave up 5 straight to Utah in a loss to the Mammoth. I want to start, Paul, by asking what level of expectation is fair/okay to have given the number of injuries they have? Because they do have a lot, and they're probably not a team that's built to sustain a lot and endure a lot. So how do you end up squaring that? Because they're missing very important players.
They are, and they were missing some very important players who had uniforms on last night. Tage Thompson and Alex Tuck and Ryan McLeod were absolute no-shows. No-shows. They didn't show up whatsoever. No shots from any of them. And if those 3 show up, you win a hockey game. Simple as that. Utah's best players showed up. Buffalo's, they might as well stayed on the bus. They were that bad. You have a 2-0 lead. If those 3 play their games, you win a hockey game. Injuries do happen, and I point out that it's the way this team is built. As soon as Josh Norris went down, it was like that probably they're not going to be able to overcome that because there's just no depth on this hockey team when it comes to their top 6. They don't have enough top 6 forwards yet, and you lose one. And you lose your best one as far as your best centerman. There's no depth in this organization to overcome it. That's why the Florida Panthers. They lost their captain, and they lost Tkachuk. And Tkachuk, but you don't have Tkachuk. You don't have Barkov. They'll survive, and they are surviving. The Ottawa Senators might be a better example. They don't have Tkachuk. Their best player by far, Batherson, didn't start the year. He was out. Where are they? They're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. So Paul,
yeah. So I understand, but the thing is, the Sabres can't overcome it because they aren't built with any depth whatsoever.
Well, is the worst part about last night maybe that a couple of the guys that wouldn't be in the lineup for all of those injuries, Ostlund, Roseanne, Dunn has been giving you good shifts, that you are getting some contribution from the replacement level guys, and your guys that would have been in the lineup if everyone was healthy are the ones letting you down?
That's the thing. You got some secondary scoring. You got the lead. Your goaltender was playing great. You're getting the goaltending. You're getting the secondary scoring in this hockey game. You've jumped out to a 2-0 lead. And even though you were being outshot after 40 minutes, you were leading in shot attempts. You were leading in block shots. You were leading in hits. And the only real problem they were having is they couldn't contain their best line. Utah's best player showed up. Now, they hadn't scored yet, but Cooley and Keller and Schmaltz were flying, and the Sabres had no answers for him at all, and they were just all over him, and Ellis was making great saves on him. Simple as that. That line was getting goalied, but the Sabres couldn't handle them at all, and that's what I said to Brian for a minute. I said that really the thing that they have to do is find a way to slow that line down. And sure enough, they did finally start, scoring in the third period. So after 40 minutes, you had the 2-0 lead midway through the second. You gave up 1 goal. All right, it was a screenshot. Ellis never saw it. Dunn screened him, and he never saw it. But you're still 2-1. and all right, go win a hockey game. And I said to Brian, not only do they have to get points in this game, they have to win this game. I mean, we had talked about, if you're going to keep yourselves alive in this race by the end of the weekend, you probably got to take 3 points. Well, there were 2 sitting right there for them. And then, I knew Colorado was good, and I was looking before I went to bed. I didn't realize they had one regulation loss all year.
Yeah, right.
One regulation loss. They have gotten points in 16 of their 17 games. They are, the number 1 team in the NHL in points. They are the number 1 team in the NHL in goals for, and they're the number 2 team in the NHL in goals against. And they have not lost in regulation at home. I believe they're 5-0-2 if I'm going by memory. So when I say you had to get 3 points, I don't think you're getting points in back-to-back on the second day of a back-to-back in Colorado. So I'm thinking, all right, you got to get 2, and you have a good opportunity to maybe get 2 in Utah and 2 in Detroit, maybe. But the Colorado portion of it, you're going to be lucky if you stay within 3 or 4 goals. They also have the leading scorer in the league too. It was just a golden opportunity missed, and I was remembered at 2-1. It was actually 2-0 when the first one hit, where they could have gone up 3-0. It was the Utah turned the puck over. Dunn was all by himself, one-on-one with Vejmelka, and Vejmelka makes the save, but he's down and out, and Dunn follows up. Dunn, all he's got to do is make contact with the puck, and it's 3-0. And he made contact with the puck barely. He pretty much fanned on it, and the puck just dribbles into the crease, and then it's bouncing around still. Kesselring follows in. He takes it back and puts it right back into the down and out of Vejmelka, and you don't score there. Okay. Then Utah does score, make it 2-1. And right after that, Greenway comes right down Main Street, right down the slot, all by himself, takes his time, gets his head up, takes a look, and what does he do? What do the Sabres always do? Hits the post, square on. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, you could just see him looking. You could see him pick that corner. And, he had it. And he just hit the post square. So, instead of being 3-1, it's 2-1 still. And those were the 2 chances I thought that were just not only grade A scoring chances. They're basically open nets. Now, who knows what happens then? Is it a different hockey game at 3-0, or is it a different hockey game at 3-1? I would think it is. We don't know for sure. If the third period plays out the same way. The Sabres, I don't think, basically have no resistance whatsoever like they did in the third period. That was pathetic. Not only were their best players pathetic, but that was just, you gave up 5 unanswered goals to a team that basically was pretty much ready to let you win. And here you are. You lost going away 5-2, and of course you had to give up your empty netter, your 7th of the season. So, it's getting to a point now, I'm being totally serious here, that they probably should not pull the goalie because it's going in their net. They cannot play 6-on-5. They just cannot. They are better off, I think, just trying to play 5-on-5, because 6-on-5 they are giving up an empty netter. They never score. They have no empty net goals for this year, and they've given up 7, which I think is it's either the worst in the league or second worst. When they gave up the 6, they were the worst in the league for the second straight year. Last year they were also worst in the league at it. They are horrendous at 6-on-5 to a point where I think they probably should stop pulling the goalie.
Paul Hamilton, you're a vibe this morning, Paul. Let me tell you, holy cow! I get it; it's justified. I wanted to ask you back to you mentioned the top line, like Thompson, Tuch, McLeod. Thompson, for a couple weeks there, a couple games, we would say, like, all right, slow starter. Do you see a player that maybe, that little stretch there where the Sabres were playing a little bit better hockey, that is faded and they do not win a lot? Do you see a player that is checking out? Do you see a player that's on a line where he's lacking chemistry because, they have had to shuffle things around? Like, what do you see in Thompson's game that is missing?
He absolutely checked out last night. I wouldn't say he's checked out the whole year, but he was nowhere to be found last night. Nowhere. He should be embarrassed and Tuck was embarrassed. Tuck talked after the game. Thompson didn't run and hide. We just didn't ask for him. We had asked for Tuck. We wanted to talk to Ellis, because he had gotten his second start, and Roseanne, who scored a couple of goals, he deserved to talk. So I don't want people to think that Thompson was running and hiding. Had he been asked, he would have talked. But just nowhere to be found. To a point where I questioned to Brian, are some guys on this team trying to get people fired? I mean, and by people, either Kevin Adams or Lindy Ruff or both, because that's what I saw last night. I saw a bunch of guys who basically just, as I said, they may as well stayed on the bus.
Yeah, Paul, there'd been some speculation that if the start wasn't good, that changes could happen. Do you think we should start to be on watch for that?
There was speculation there should have been changes last April. Terry Pagula is totally fine with this. And I'm saying that by his actions. He let a GM go into a sixth year when after 5 years the team was probably in worse shape than it was when he started. So that tells me that Terry Pagula is totally fine with what he's seeing on the ice, because he let that GM go into a sixth year. There's no organization in the NHL that would have let the GM go into the sixth year. None, except this one. And so if he didn't make a change then, why would he even considering it now? I mean, that's the way I look at it. And, they'll just say it was injuries, and they're not wrong. Injuries have hurt them. But also, when you have injuries and your top players aren't your top players, and the thing I think that's really annoying is they were their top players for the third period in Carolina. That line really played well, and they scored a couple of goals. Tuck and Thompson both scored, and they look good. And it's like, yeah, okay, there you go. And I thought to myself, and I talked about it, I'm probably with you guys and in the pregame, that this could be a springboard for those guys. It's like, okay, they played really well. Build on it. You didn't win the game in Carolina, but build on it. Again, there was another right there. That Carolina game, you give up just a goal where Byram was like, what are you doing? That's Eric Robinson that looks like Wayne Gretzky that just walked in there. And he just Gretzky'd you. And if we talk about getting goalied, he got Gretzky'd by Eric Robinson. And then you don't get a save, and now it's 4-1, and then all of a sudden this team takes off and it's 4-3. It's like, yeah, maybe if you wouldn't have given up that goal in the first 29 seconds of the third period by Eric Robinson, you could have gotten points in that game too. But they came to the party, so it's like, okay, there you go. Now build on that. You got a couple of goals. You have some confidence here. Build on it. And they didn't build on it at all. It was embarrassing. And why? What are you doing that you can't build on? In Tage Thompson's case, you can't build on winning a gold medal where you scored the golden goal. You can't. You should have been so raring to go by the time you got to training camp, that because now you've won something. But it's just, I can't explain it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm not Tage Thompson. I can't tell you if he's happier that Adams is here. If he's not happy Adams is here, I don't know. and he's not going to say it publicly, even if you asked him. So I don't know what's happening here, but Tage Thompson, very little of what Tage Thompson can play like has shown up in this season.
Paul Hamilton on the Western Hotline here talking Sabres as they lost to Utah last night, and they'll play Colorado next, then Detroit, then come back home. It's 5 wins in, is it 14 games? 5 wins in 14 games for the Sabres right now? Or
it's one win in 8.
1 win in 8, yeah. And overall, maybe it's 5 and 16.
5 and 16.
5 wins.
And they have 3 fewer wins than any team in the conference.
Yeah.
They're now 30th in the league.
I saw that,
in 20.
And I'll tell you, Paul, like, injuries are a part of this, but for a team that made the trades they made and said, we've got plenty of scoring, they don't score.
Well, and the injuries don't appear, Paul, to like be anywhere near coming back other than Benson, right? Because Lindy said with us the other day, Zucker hasn't eaten in 2 weeks. Kulik, blood clot thing could be anything. Dahlin is a defenseman, but he's offense, and he's out probably for a while. Like, other than Benson, I don't really think the cavalry's coming.
Yeah, and he's right about Zucker. Not only does Zucker have to start feeling better, once he starts feeling better, how much weight has he lost? How much strength has he lost? That he's going to have to, get training again before you can use him. And so it's not just feeling better. It's, getting his whole body better. I mean, Bulldog said yesterday when I was on with him, remember last year, the year before, where he was in the hospital for 8 or 9 days, and he said he didn't eat a thing, and he lost like 20 pounds of muscle. Now he's not a fine condition athlete, as he said, but still, it just gives you an idea that I don't think he's just going to say, "Oh, finally, I feel better. Okay, I'll be standing in front of that in the power play tomorrow." No, I don't think so. I think you've got to get ramped up again. So that has to happen. We're talking about a blood clot that needs to dissolve. Nobody knows how long that's going to take. It's different. There are players who've never played again. Now, I don't think that's what Kulik is, because Lindy said that he expects that he will play again this year.
Because they found it early.
Yeah. So these are things that you just don't know. We don't know how long Dahlin is going to be in Sweden. That's a situation he may not even know. That's a hurting guy right now. And he doesn't know which way to turn. And he's scared, and that's the thing I think we all forget about with athletes sometime, that real life happens for them too. They're fathers, they're husbands, they have things to do. I mean, they that don't have anything to do with money. I know they make a lot of money, and that can, so they don't have to worry about, can they buy groceries this week, or are they going to be able to put gas in the car or anything like that? I understand that. But there also are situations in life that money are not going to take care of. And, that kid is scared to death right now. And, he is the captain of the Buffalo Sabres, but that comes way, way later than what he's going through.
Paul Hamilton, his appearance brought to you by Relax Honda. Relax, we got this. All right, Paul, Colorado tonight.
Back to back.
We'll talk tomorrow. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. Take care.
Thanks, Paul. I'll pick myself up off the floor. Hold on. Let me watch some Gavin McKenna highlights.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's
Gavin McKenna?